We're just two guys with one mission, and we've chosen to accept it for some reason. It's time to tell them what we mean, what we say.
What just happened?
What did we just watch?
Last train to Clarksville.
Next stop, Pottersville.
Next stop. What the fuck was it called again?
Last
Night Trains.
No,
it's also called Last Stop on the Night Train.
Yeah, we just... hello.
Hi.
We just watched Last Stop on the Night Train.
Night Train!
Yeah, which was...
kind of a rip-off of things we've watched before.
It was of literally the movie we just watched.
Yeah, it was a little bit Last House on the Left, but on a train.
Yeah.
You know, like how Die Hard 2 is Die Hard, but in an airport. This is like Last House on the Left, but on a train.
I think this is sometimes known as
Last House on the Train. Last Train on the Left.
Last train on the stop night.
Not Night Train.
Night Train! Night Train to Nowhere. I wonder if that song is related to this.
Yeah. I doubt it.
It's a 1975 Italian film that's basically Last House on the Left, but Italian.
On a train.
On a train. There are some fundamental differences.
Yes.
First of all...
This isn't good.
I was going to go in positive first.
Okay.
Go on, but then, because I feel like most of this review is going to be very negative.
Yeah, pretty much. It's definitely creepy.
It's fucking rough.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It looks great.
It looks great.
And I was kind of thinking that maybe because it looked much less grimy than that somehow it would be...
Like a sanitized version.
Yeah, but actually no. It was...
It's still pretty rough.
It was pretty horrible movie.
Yeah.
Now, it lacks anyone as good as David Hess, but I guess we should really try and judge this on its own merits.
Okay.
Because I think if we compare it to Last House on the Left too much, I think that would be doing it a disservice.
Yeah.
Because I think it does a disservice to itself anyway.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Two girls who I guess are in school in Munich.
Yeah.
They're going home for Christmas.
No. One of them's going home. The other one's going with her.
Yes, but they're going to Verona for Christmas.
Yes. Or they're going via Verona.
No,
to
Verona
wherever
was...
the house is. Well, yeah.
They said Verona because they said they were going to camp by the lake, and that's Lake Garda.
Oh, I've been there.
Yes.
I played a concert there once.
We've both been there, but we were in the north. Verona's in the
south.
East.
Yeah.
I think.
I had a 1 in 4 chance of
I've been to Verona. I have been to Verona. Like it's a nice place.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, they're getting a train there,
and as they're getting on the train is packed. But these two criminals who've just robbed a Santa in Munich,
two hoodlums,
jump on the train just as it's pulling out and evade the police. Going through the train, one of the hoodlums spies this blonde lady
who looks a bit posh,
who's wearing a veil, like a funeral veil.
Isn't it a white one to start with?
No, it's black. It's the same one she pulls down at the end.
Is it? Oh, I thought she was wearing a white one to start with.
Well, spoilers.
She's wearing a hood at the end.
No, it's like a veil. It's like a funeral veil, right?
Okay.
I mean, I don't really know much about 70s fashion.
It is like a funeral veil.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I thought it was like going crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the hoodlums jumps into the spacious
toilet.
Train toilets with her.
Yeah.
She starts freaking out. He begins to assault her.
Yeah.
She gets into it.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, the three of them, the three hoodlums and the posh lady...
They're all thick thieves.
They're thick-ass thieves.
Ironically.
The train has to stop in Austria because there's been a bomb threat. Innsbruck, yes. The two girls say, "Oh, can we get off the train? We've got to make a phone call." Initially, the police are saying, "No, you can't."
Yeah, but then they let them, and they find out that actually there's another train going to Verona that will actually arrive quicker.
Yes.
So they get onto that train.
But little do they know that the three hoodlums, two hoodlums and the posh lady, have got the same train.
Yes.
Now, I did miss out that they had encountered the two hoodlums before fighting with a naval officer. He looked like he was in the Navy, right? He looked like someone from officer.
No, wasn't he the train?
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't he the train dude?
No, I think he was just
like the ticket dude on the first train.
No.
I so hope that comes on. Amazing.
Steve just got a text message that's like...
No. It was just the end of the scene.
That's the end of the scene. Anyway, they encountered before, and then oh my god!
Maybe I'll just turn that off for now. See, no, I'm not gonna, because if that keeps happening, that's awesome.
It's gonna be way more entertaining than this piece of shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, they encountered before, and they decided those boys are crazy.
Yeah.
And then the boys have hooked up with the posh lady, and then they all get the train.
Yeah. Unbeknownst to them, each other.
So the girls are just hanging out in their little cabin, trying to get some shut eye, and then they start having a little dinner.
A little turkey sandwich for Christmas.
And then they start hearing familiar harmonica
tone.
And then but when they go to investigate it, they can't. It's not there.
No.
But then all three of them bust into the little cabin.
Yeah.
And thus begins
a train journey to remember.
Yes.
Psychological torture, physical assaults. We don't want to go into too much detail
because it's really rough.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, I guess the big one we should mention is...
Well, I think we should let's track back, because this is the story of the film, and we should judge it on these merits.
Okay.
One of the hoodlums starts feeling up the posh lady in front of the girls, and the girls feel very awkward about it.
Yeah, but they make them stay to watch because that's how they get down.
No, they force them to watch.
Yeah.
And then when the other guy is basically coming on to one of the other girls, one of them kicks him in.
She kicks him in the dick.
Kicks him in the dick. And in order to prove that his penis works, he forces her to stimulate him by hand. At which point, after which, they force the other girl to strip.
Yes.
And while she's stripping, we notice that there's an older gentleman on the train watching the whole thing go down.
Yeah.
The older gentleman is invited in.
Yes.
And assaults the blonde girl.
Yes.
When they try to assault the dark-haired girl, they realize she's a virgin.
Yeah.
And so they use a knife.
Well, before that, in the commotion before that bit, the dude who's just assaulted the blonde girl just thinks, this is my opportunity to leave.
Yes, he just
legs it out the cabin.
He just scoots off.
Gets off the train at the next station and just legs it, basically.
Yeah.
But he comes back later.
Yes, but then he comes back later.
And then we get to the horrible bit of the film.
The horrible bit in the film is that they kind of operate on her with a flick.
He can't.
What would you call that?
Well,
it's not a switchblade, is it? It's like a flick knife.
It's like a flick knife, yeah. I mean, he tries to assault her sexually first. Calls her as tight as a frightened asshole.
Yes.
Which is a pretty good insult, to be fair. And then
within context, it was pretty horrible.
Yeah. And then to make it easier, quote unquote, he's going to use a knife to, I guess, open her up a bit.
Which
kills the horrible.
Yeah, and it kills the girl.
Yeah.
While they're dealing with the dead body they've got on their hands, the blonde girl decides to escape.
Yeah, she manages to get out of the cabin.
She manages to get out of the cabin to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And while the hoodlums are trying to kick the door down, she decides she's going to climb out the window and then just jump for it, which kills her.
Yes.
Freaking out, the hoodlums and the girl decide to start cleaning up the cabin and then dump the dark-haired girl.
Dump the body and all the luggage of the two girls
out the window before they get to the station.
Yes.
Okay. I think we're through the worst. We're through the worst part now.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the most distressing bits.
Yeah. At Verona, the hoodlums and the
Posh lady.
the hoodlums and the posh lady are already waiting in the waiting room.
Yeah.
And the parents of the dark-haired girl
Yeah.
arrive to pick her up, only to find out the train did not contain her.
Yes.
But then, because the dad is a doctor,
Yeah, as they're walking
he spies the posh lady's injured knee.
Well, as they're about to drive off, the station master comes and gets them.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's what happens. The station
He
master
says, hey, this lady's hurt herself. Can you come and have a look?
Yeah. She doesn't want to go to the hospital, so they take the posh lady and the hoodlums back to their house.
Yeah.
At which point, things start to fall apart logically.
Yeah. The one of the hoodlums is wearing a neckerchief
A neckerchief.
that has been described to the mother over the phone
Yeah, but they've never seen before.
by somebody else, but they've never seen it before, but it is a horrendous turquoise colour
Yes.
with a hand-painted design on it.
Yes, but...
So that gets her dander up a little. She's like, well, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
Well...
A suspicion... But they don't know what's happened to the girls yet. The latest they know is that, the train from Verona is going to be in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because it got delayed.
That's exactly right. Then the elderly gentleman who assaulted the blonde girl calls the police and gives them the police a description of who killed the girls.
Killed the 2 girls, because the 2 girls' bodies have been discovered at this point.
Then a news report goes out, which the father hears.
Yeah.
And then he
puts 2 and 2 together.
Which I think is a bit of a leap.
Based on a neckerchief, yes.
Based on a neckerchief and a news report.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's like some sort of intuition, but...
We're not parents, we don't know this shit.
No, we don't know this shit, but it's like, it's a bit of a leap. And then he tries to strangle the posh lady. The posh lady convinces him that she had nothing to do with it, which is a lie.
Yeah. But you see a posh lady and 2 hoodlums, somebody's killed his daughters, you're going to go after the hoodlums, aren't you?
Sure.
Social profiling.
And then, so he finds one of the hoodlums shooting up some heroin.
So he attacks him with a drip stand.
Yeah, with a drip stand, and
smashes a glass bottle in his face.
He sees the other guy escaping. He grabs a gun and a little belt of bullets.
A
bandolero, and then just chases after him.
Chewbacca style.
And then eventually he shoots him, which pins him to the ground. Yeah. The wife comes running over saying, hasn't there been enough violence?
Don't do it. And he thinks, no.
He goes, no, fuck this guy, I'm going to shoot him anyway. He shoots him anyway, and then the posh lady comes over, pulls her veil down, and then it just ends.
Yeah. It's like, so the posh lady got away with it.
It was so unsatisfying. After all the brutality that we went through, it was like, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like I said at the end of Last House on the Left, like, the people that were supposed to die did die. And that's very satisfying. Whereas in this, they don't. Like, she didn't die.
Yeah, it's just so...
She 100% could have died, unless it was sequel bait.
The sequel that never happened. The sequel to...
She gets on another train, finds some more hoodlums.
Last stop on the night train 2.
Second last stop. Penultimate stop on the train.
It's...
I mean, it was a slog, especially having done essentially the same film just before this.
Yeah. I think it was okay paced. Like, I think...
Yeah. The
only thing that was...
the bits on the train dragged a bit much.
The
early bits on the train especially.
Yes, the early bits
on the first train. Whilst they're just establishing, these are horrible cunts, aren't they?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That dragged on a bit.
But when they...
after that, I suppose it kind of... Once it gets going...
This last 20 minutes basically all falls apart. And this is where I'm going to start comparing it to Last House on the Left. It's like... The mother in Last House on the Left finds it odd that the guy would be wearing the necklace of Mary.
Yes. Well, the necklace they gave them.
She gave him
Mary.
The day before.
Yeah.
She said, oh, that's a coincidence. But then they hear them say it.
Yeah.
And then they find the body.
Yeah.
And so they have definitive proof that these are the people, and that tips them over the edge.
Yeah. Whereas the leap in this is he's wearing a funny neckerchief. There's a report on the radio that somebody may have killed 2 girls.
Yeah.
Who haven't been named.
Who weren't named, no. And it's just like, and then it just like...
But I mean, they do get information about, like, they should have been on the train before, they should have already been with you. I.e. the train that would have deposited the hoodlums and the posh lady there.
Still, but
again, it is still a leap.
It's a leap, but it's not, like, I can understand being upset enough that you basically just, like, assume that these are the people responsible.
Yeah.
But
then to then
but
start
it's
smashing them in the
but
face
it's
or
only
shooting at them with a gun.
but it only exists to have that revenge part of the story.
Yeah.
And it's like a ham-fisted way of doing that part.
Yeah,
Which
it is taking the last house on the left thing, just like, well, we can force that idea into this story somehow.
yeah, it's like, oh shit, we forgot to do this.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And which is a shame, because I think like there's a lot of shots in this movie that reminded me of Paul Verhoeven's The Fourth Man, especially on the train stuff, of like it being like quite like really cinematic.
Yeah, like the blue light and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
really
or the way
nice.
it switches from the like the night lights to the I just thought it looked
it's blowing out the candle to
it
like,
looks
essentially
it
moonlight.
looks
That's
fantastic.
very nice.
It looks
Yeah.
and there's a very basic Ennio Morricone score. The first time he's appeared in any of these
right.
any of these
I
movies.
actually forgot to even notice that.
And I mean, there wasn't a lot
No.
to his to the music, but it was just what a wasted. Like, it's clear that the person behind, like the people behind the cameras, were not unskilled.
Yeah.
But the script was bad.
Yeah, I mean, this falls into the category of you could make a really good version of this film.
Yes. Well, the thing is that a really good version of this.
But you would take very definite visual elements from this version.
Yes.
And just redo the script.
Yeah, and like tie up the loose ends a bit more neatly.
And maybe some better actors. Because the hoodlums weren't exactly great.
Yeah, I think the only person who was great was the posh.
I thought the posh lady was good.
Like she.
I actually thought the two girls were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
They were terrified and they were scared, and I was quite convinced about that.
But they were likable people as well. So it was kind of sad.
Exactly. Yeah, they were set up. Really
And they
well.
felt very
natural.
Yeah, natural. That's a
Yeah.
good way of putting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
missed opportunity.
you'd think like an Italian. Like when I hear Italian ripoff, I think of like Bruno Mattei or something like that, or Contamination.
Super cheap, super schlocky.
Which Contamination, if you remember, was pretty fun. It was the Alien ripoff with the exploding heads.
yeah, right.
It was like kind of fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Whereas, like, I don't think you can do a fun version of Last House on the Left.
And if you do, you miss the point completely.
And it's like, yeah, the brutal aspects were there.
Yeah.
The
visuals were great.
The revenge part was like just like, what was going on? And when she pulled the veil, now we were both.
Yeah, sure, what the fuck is going on here? And then immediately credits. It's like, whoa, hang on a minute.
And there's the sirens in the background.
That.
Like,
yeah. So the cops are coming, I assume, to pick up the. But why?
Why are the cops coming?
Why do the cops know to come? Nobody on the screen called them, so there's no need for that. Yeah. Unless they'd identified the bodies and were going to the home of the dark.
I guess that could be possible, but
we weren't told that.
We're not told that. We have to sit here speculating.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I really have to say about it. It's
not.
It was not.
It could have been great, but I don't think it reaches great.
If
it was okay.
If someone said, have you seen this? What's the director's name? What's the director's name? Aldo Lado. If someone said, do you want to watch an Aldo Lado movie? I would go, oh, yeah, which one? I would probably watch another movie this director made.
Yeah, I probably would, actually. Maybe not this one again, but I would watch
I would definitely not watch this one again. But, like, I could...
I'd actually like to.
Yeah, let's see what else he did.
Because...
Maybe we've seen something.
Ooh.
He's a Giallo director. He did Short Night of Glass Dolls. He did a whole bunch of stuff.
Wow, he's still writing. 2013.
Go down to the directing.
Well, at least he's been busy, that's pretty good. Still directing in 2013.
Go down and says he did a bunch of Giallos. Yeah, Who Saw Her Die. So I would probably, based on this one, I would watch his Giallos.
But I probably wouldn't because I don't really like Giallos too much.
But yeah,
it was pretty hard going.
Yeah, it was rough.
I didn't hate it, but it was rough. It was okay. It wasn't great. I don't think it was even good.
Yeah,
aspects of it were good.
Yeah,
but the film itself as a whole.
The film itself was not good.
Yeah.
Let's score this out.
Yeah, let's.
For the story, what would you give it?
Well, it's a rip-off of a rip-off of a rip-off, isn't it?
So I guess we have to score
it less than Last House on the Left. It's ripping off and just putting it on a train. So I get 2, I guess. What did I say for Last House on the Left?
4.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I wasn't really.
And again, story-wise, it kind of hits a bump with the final act.
And there's like a whole bunch of missed opportunities. Like, I think the sleaziness of the posh lady wasn't explored.
No.
Like, I reckon you could have gone deeper.
I mean,
into
where the
that.
fuck did she even come from?
Yeah, we don't know.
She was just a posh lady on a train who, you know, nearly got assaulted in the bathroom, decided she was into it, and then goes on this fucking crime spree, apparently.
Yeah.
Nothing of that is explored whatsoever, other than she's a bit of an horrible cunt.
Yeah, and then she gets away with it.
Yeah, the hoodlums you don't really need to explain any backstory because it's just right. They're
crims.
They mugged a fucking Santa and they're just a pair of cunts.
Yeah,
I get that, but this posh lady just turns into a cunt because she was about to get assaulted and then she decided she liked it.
Well, there's a scene where like she
turn.
spills her contents and there's some like smutty photos.
Well, yeah, but you know,
and
we've all
you're
got
just
bit smart
okay.
Times. Yeah.
Yeah, so I give it a 2, maybe.
Yeah, I got 2.
2.
Yeah, I think so. It changed just enough to kind of make it interesting, and not just a flat out rip off, but that it hits real big problems.
Yeah. Gore.
Wasn't really any.
Yeah, can we even rate it for gore? There was just
the dude smashed in the face.
I mean, there was no. Because a lot of the violence is implied, and the implied violence is really horrible.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think I can score it high for gore.
And also, yeah. I mean, also on that same token, it's nothing to do with this score. There's one thing I did notice: all the sexual violence is also implied. You don't really see anything. I think you see like a couple of boobs.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of nudity in the movie.
Considering the length of the kind of assaulting on the train, you would think you would see absolutely fucking everything, but you don't. You see barely anything.
So,
which is a weird restraint from Italians.
So I guess I can't score it.
Yeah.
I guess I get a 0.
Yeah, I guess so.
For the creativity, I guess it scores points on the cinematography alone.
Yeah, and they moved it to a train, so at least that's a creative decision that was made to not just put it in a house.
But I think it's a 2. I think it loses a lot of... It loses points for missed...
It could have been a lot more creative with it. I mean, nothing's really explored. It's just right, these are these characters...
So, creative-wise...
Yeah, 2, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think I can score it very high. I don't think they did a lot with the thing, but it scores points on the cinematography, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Sense?
No. Doesn't make any sense. What does it? Oh, the last act doesn't. Because that's just a massive leap of faith of... these could be the people that kills my daughter, so I'm just going to stalk you with a fucking shotgun.
That's where, I mean...
That loses an awful lot of points.
And the treatment, I guess...
All it needed was, it's been identified as this person. We've had a tip off that there was
be on the lookout for...
Two dudes and a posh lady. And they'd be like, oh, hey...
Oh, my God, I'm about to give them a lift.
Yeah, and also the next chief thing, hey...
Hey, that's all the proof I need.
Absolutely.
It's clobbering time.
That still makes at least a whole point more logical sense than what actually happened.
The lack of resolution for the posh lady's involvement and the entirety of the leap of faith loses points. Aside from that, and the unresolved elderly rapist man.
Yeah, he just sods off and calls in a tip like a fucking grass. Snitches get stitches, end up in ditches.
So I think this is 2. It's a 2 again.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it was fine. But there's a 3 big plot points of like, what are you?
And like I say, the whole third act is based on an illogical premise.
Yes.
Which is our daughter's dead. Somebody did it. Yeah, it could be these people in our house.
Yeah.
They were on a train.
So it's a 2 from me.
Yeah, I got 2.
For the music.
Now I'm going to score this very low, and I'll tell you why. I didn't recognise or particularly hear the Morricone soundtrack, and B, I fucking hate Demis Roussos.
You hate Demi Russo?
I can't stand that fucking voice. It stuck with me since being a kid.
I think he's got a great voice. I love his disco records. I love Destiny's Child. That's a joke, but feel free to say something in the comments.
I don't really understand why that's a joke.
Because he was in Aphrodite's Child with Vangelis.
Right. Okay. Ha 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 ha.
I had to explain the joke.
Therefore, what does that tell you?
Therefore,
so I'm going 0 because I fucking hate that voice. Sorry.
I think it's a 2 from me on the basis that, like, always props to Morricone.
Yeah. But if it had been a classic Morricone score,
but most of the soundtrack was just one piano note.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and the harmonica theme.
Yeah, and for the time of it, there wasn't even any stupid synth on it to at least get me, oh hey, there's something happening here. It was just a complete non-entity to me, other than a fucking one song played twice that I fucking hated.
Okay, so there's a very low scoring 8 out of 50.
Wow, that's surprisingly low, to be fair.
Yeah, I would thought it would score a bit higher, but I just don't feel justified in giving it any more points because it's such a theft from.
On the categories that we're basing it on, it is what it is.
Yes,
The numbers never lie. But I'm surprised that it's that low.
well, we've made up the numbers, so the numbers can lie as much as we want them to. That's the That's the premise.
I mean, actually 14 points there.
Oh wait, no. Oh yeah.
4.
Wait a minute. Okay. 4.
Hang on, we're just teaching Tony basic maths here.
8.
Bear with us.
12. Yeah.
So you just counted your numbers and not mine.
Yeah. Oh, for a final score of 14 out of 50.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a lot more than the 8 that I would have predicted.
Yes, that I would hate that was floating around.
But yeah, no, yeah.
I think it's about right. I think it's about right.
It's
below average.
It's not great. Bits of it were good, but not enough to trouble the scoreboards too much.
I don't regret seeing it.
No, glad I've seen it. I mean, there's very few films on this list that I'm just like going, fuck, I wasted my time. That didn't.
What? There's been a whole bunch of them.
I was trying to be positive, Tom.
Why?
I don't know anymore. I'm sick of this. Fucking hell, we've got another 20 films to go.
Yep.
That's almost right, yeah. 26. Shit, that can't be right, can it? Where are we?
24.
Next one's 48. Yeah, right.
24 films.
Yeah, cocks. Alright, well, some of them were good, I assume. The last one's going to be good.
Yeah, that's just something to look forward to.
Yeah, like, oh yeah. I mean, that can't be bad, right?
Steve, would you recommend it?
No.
Tell me, would you?
Now, with a massive caveat of, I've seen Last House on the Left. Yes. Did you love it? Yes. Then you're my friend. Great, we can talk further. Do you want to see a fucking really weird version of it on a train? Yeah, I do. Then I would recommend this.
Okay.
In that kind of thing.
I would only recommend it if you're a fan of this style of Italian movie. If you're into this kind of cinematography and the feel of this sort of movie, then you probably get a kick out of it. Otherwise, just don't bother. If you want to watch something really upsetting,
Last House on the Left.
Then watch Last House on the Left. It's a better version.
Every time, yeah.
I haven't seen The Virgin Spring, which might be even better.
You never know. I doubt it.
Who knows?
I doubt it.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it for us today.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like buttons and such likes.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, but say
at least one of us will read it.
Say Steve's got healthy
gonads.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Say Steve has healthy balls.
Yeah.
There we go. And then Steve will read that, and then he'll decide whether it's true or not.
I'll probably write back to you and go, yay, or nah.
Yeah. But only you can find out.
Yeah.
You.
So look in the messages, I might have left my phone number. You never know. FaceTime me, I'll show you my nods.
Okay.
Bye. 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 Bye.